LeBron James has now agreed to a 2-year, $104 million max deal with the Lakers. Sources told Woj the deal includes a player option for the 2025-26 season and a no-trade clause. So with that news, here's a look at the Lakers' potential roster for this coming season. Starting five appears it will remain the same as last season with LeBron, AD, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura all back. That group went 18-6 when they started together last season. So I'm back here with my NBA guys. Bobby Marks, let's start with you. Your reaction to LeBron's new deal.
Yeah, not surprised at all, Dan. I think the big question is whether it's going to be 2 years or 3 years. He did 2 years, got a player option for next year. Can become a free agent again. I think we've talked about LeBron taking the discount for a player like Klay Thompson. Certainly he elected to take the full amount, and rightfully so. I think it's just interesting where it leaves them financially moving forward. They are right at the second apron, which is at $190 million. Woj reported that there's still discussions between Rich Paul and LeBron and the Lakers about maybe taking $1 million less to give them a little bit more flexibility here. But they're going to have to be awfully creative on how they add to this roster outside of their own core group based on the restrictions that they have now.
That $1 million, though, does really make a difference. I know fans probably hear that and say, what's $1 million? But because they are basically right at the second apron, if you take $1 million off his salary, all of a sudden you could put multiple players together to make trades. You could then do that with draft picks and maybe go get an impact player or two during the season. So that is an interesting thing that Adrian has reported, and it could potentially impact the Lakers' ability to add to this roster, which as of now is not good enough to make much of an impact in the West.
But at 40 years old, this franchise still revolves around LeBron James. As much as he has talked about passing the torch and Anthony Davis becoming that piece, as much as they've talked about finding another star to come in and take some of the pressure and some of the load off LeBron James, we all know it still orbits around this man. And he's still a highly productive player, 25, 7, and 8, 50% shooting, 40 from 3. Like for his age, it's remarkable what he's still doing at this point in his career. But what he used to be able to do is carry a roster like this and still be a championship contender. The question is, can he continue to do it at the age of 40? Played over 70 games for the first time in 6 years this past season. So it's a lot still rides on the shoulders of LeBron James with this franchise.
Bobby?
Yeah, one more thing regarding the apron restriction that we didn't talk about here. Here's one of the rules that impacts certainly the Lakers and teams like Boston. If the Lakers finish the 2024-25 season over the second apron, their 2032 first-round pick now becomes frozen. That means they do not have the ability to trade that in a future deal here. So there's a goal, certainly, to remain below that apron. And when you are making trades, the apron is triggered based on your post salaries, your salaries post-transaction. So you could technically be over the apron, move two players, and if that puts you under this 192nd apron, you're still allowed to do that.
Yeah, interesting. The Lakers still looking to add pieces to improve the roster, but one they weren't able to secure was Klay Thompson, who instead signed with the Dallas Mavericks. His father, Michael Thompson, had this to say about that decision.
Not too feeling too much in a congratulatory mood right now, because obviously it's Klay's decision, it's his life. He's a grown man, 34 years of age, just like we were 34 at one time. Scal, Frank, and our father used to give us advice, and we would go choose our own path, and that's fine. That's what life is supposed to be about. But I'm really disappointed. I was hoping, as you can assess, that he would be a Laker, and it was close. It came down to the Lakers and the Mavs, but the Mavs won out. But you know me, I was hoping and praying he'd finish his career with the Lakers.
Yeah, Tim, hope is nice, but you were not surprised that Klay made this decision in the end?
No, Klay Thompson chose the right decision on several levels. He chose the right decision from a basketball level and from a competitive standpoint. He's a better fit basketball-wise, playing off of Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, and he's a better fit from a chance to win standpoint because the Mavs were, by the way, in the NBA Finals, and the Lakers, by the way, won one playoff game or in the play-in tournament. And that is the land that they're going to be living in for the next couple of years, whereas Dallas, with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, has got a chance to be at the top of the West. So this is very simple for me.
Bobby, you talked earlier about the apron situation and why the Lakers might have a little bit of difficulty adding, but it's the way their roster is constructed, right, that's really holding them back?
Well, yeah, I mean, the apron didn't impact how Dallas added Klay Thompson and Najee Marshall, and then they moved off Tim Hardaway Jr.'s money here. So I think there's ways around. You certainly talk to teams, and that's the topic right now. But there are ways around the apron here. If you have certainly a deep roster, you can't really be top heavy in contracts, having 3 max players. But the key is having all your draft equity. If you can build out your bench with your draft picks and not be what a team like Phoenix is right now, Boston is a great example. Boston has all their draft picks except for one. They can keep on replenishing it. The same with Oklahoma City. The roster in Oklahoma City is going to get awfully expensive in the next 3 years. But what Oklahoma City has that nobody else is, they've got 16 first-round picks in the near future. You can keep on replenishing your bench with inexpensive contracts here.
Yeah, and so they're set up. We talk about these teams that are contenders. The Lakers haven't been one, right? I mean, obviously they were in the finals a couple years ago, but they haven't really been a top-level contender. What will it take to get them back there?
Hot tub time machine. I don't really know what it'll take because you still have at the very top one of the great players. So they have LeBron James. I mean, I just said this a few minutes ago. He's still playing at a high level. He is still somebody that if you can get him to the playoffs, we saw it 2 years ago. Just get him there, and you have a chance to win every series with the right matchups, of course. So that's the struggle for the Lakers has to be the regular season and getting him there. Because if you're expecting to play another 70-plus games again this year, that's asking a lot for a guy who's 40 years old that you want to have still have gas in the tank. What was the stat you said about their 5 when they did play together?
Yeah,
their record was at 18-6 or something like that.
6.
That's also another part of this problem for the Lakers is how can they be better than they were last year? Gabe Vincent wasn't healthy. They had signed him. That was an interesting, a really nice. I love that pickup. They took him from Miami, who had a run. He was very good in the playoffs for Miami. He really hardly played. Defense perimeter was a major issue. That's what he brings. Jarrett Vanderbilt, same thing. So if they can get healthy and keep that 5 and see what they can get out of it, J.J. Redick's got to coach him up. This coaching staff's got to coach up some guys. That's how you become competitive because you still have LeBron, you still have AD. That should be enough to keep you competitive in the West and in the NBA.
The last 12 years, the Lakers have been a top 6 team.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible.
It's not going to change this year.
They did add a couple pieces, as everyone else did in the draft. 6 days after drafting Bronny James, the Lakers have signed his father. Woj reporting LeBron James has now agreed to a 2-year, $104 million max deal with the Lakers. The deal includes a no-trade clause. Gentlemen, Tim, let's start with you. What do we make of this?
I mean, this is a big deal for the Lakers on a couple of fronts. Obviously, LeBron James is always going to come back there, and Bobby can speak to this better than me. But by signing this full max deal, LeBron James takes off the board a lot of flexibility for the Lakers in terms of adding to this roster. I think more or less the Lakers are going to be who they are. This is, I think, an admission that this is what the Lakers really didn't have much else to do in this marketplace, and they're a team that's going to probably be in the play-in.
Bobby, your reaction?
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, listen, if Klay Thompson wasn't available and certainly James Harden wasn't available, who was the player that he was going to take a $25 million discount for? And there was no player out there. I think it's interesting that it's a 2-year deal. There's a player option in the last year, so we can be talking again a year from now, him becoming a free agent. There's a no trade clause in there, which he joins Bradley Beal as the only player in the NBA that have a no trade clause. Second time in his career he's had one. He had one also in Cleveland. Now, financially, we talked about it earlier. $190 million in salary. They are right at the dreaded second apron. It will limit them as far as what they can do as far as adding players, whether it be free agency. I think we can probably rule DeMar DeRozan out of the equation. But what their roster is right now is probably what their roster is going to be when we see them on opening day late in October.
Team that's a borderline play-in team. It's not great.
It's still, again, you just signed a guy who averaged 26 a game, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, shooting 54%, 40 from 3. You just signed him. So understand, it's one of the best. I get it, but it's still one of the best players available.
No,
I mean, think about it.
Yeah,
and so
it's not about LeBron.
We all knew
this
is not. I mean, it's breaking news, but it's not really. We all knew this was going to happen, right? But it's like you still got one of the high-end players in the league, and this just again is another reminder that at the age of 40. This guy has to be your best player. And as continually trying to pass the torch to AD or trying to build a championship roster around him, you're still relying on him, and his production shows you that you can. It's now for
Jenkins, my pistol's out now. Make sure y'all go run that up. You heard it live from your boy Bobby Shmurda. Get out.
Chase gang.
You live by it, you die by it, that shit true. Lost a couple homies, some real shit I got hit too. Gotta watch your back, you get killed, niggas are spin through. Where would I be without my pistol? You live by it, you die by it, that shit true. Lost a couple homies, some real shit I got hit too. Gotta watch your back, you get killed, niggas are spin through. Where would I be without my? Where would I be without my pistol? Where would I be without my pistol? My pistol. Where would I be without my? Them niggas caught me lacking, had that thing right by my side. Already one in the head, nigga, this shit do or die. You fuck around and lose your life, you come and playing with mine. I told them boys this shit get hot when you playing with fire. Boy better not jump up on that block if he ain't ready to ride. Goofy musta thought it was cool, we just trying to survive. That musta went over his head, same way bullets gon' fly. You know that shit ain't got no name once they open they glide. Need to stop shooting from that corner, nigga, run down my side. Niggas saying they doing drills, taking innocent lives. Niggas shooting for clout, they never really hitting them guys. I keep it on me all the time, but would I be without my? You live by it, you die by it, that shit true. Lost a couple homies, some real shit I got hit too. Gotta watch your back, you get killed, niggas are spin through. Where would I be without my pistol? You live by it, you die by it, that shit true. Lost a couple homies, some real shit I got hit too. Gotta watch your back, you get killed, niggas are spin through. Where would I be without my? Where would I be without my pistol? Where would I be without my? Where would I be without my?
Where would I be without my Glock? She a thotty, she be all over my body. Can I love you or you are for everybody? If I leave, she coming right beside me. Like, was only one by my side. Not go home and play, nigga, you gon' die. The house broken up, niggas, they been fried. Like, free skim, he got locked for homicide. Like, so I'm trapping on my lonely. And I'm swerving in the foreign by my dolly. And these niggas outside not really my homies. Free gang, free broke, free the homies. Like, why they talking like they on that, but these niggas they on shit. All my niggas sliding and my niggas talking blicks. Betty on my side and she really with the shit. Talking real crazy, she gon' push a nigga away. So I'm trapping on my lonely.